Hi guys, I hope you're doing well. This video isn't going to be too informational. It's going to be a personal video, and I would like to talk to you guys about Saturn return and my experience with it. Now, before I jump into this conversation, since I launched my website recently, I'm really happy about it. I basically launched a brand new business, I think, and it became way more professional now, and I'm just enjoying it so much. So I do offer a discount starting Sunday 24th of February until Sunday March 3rd, so Sunday through Sunday, on my soul purpose readings. And this is a combination of astrology and tarot in one. At first I do astrology, I go over your chart, I'm looking at karmic aspects that you have in your chart, and then I do a tarot reading at the end. And the service is $65 normally, and for this upcoming week it's going to be $50, so $15 off. So figured I would let you know in this video about it, because Saturn is a karmic planet and technically it's appropriate to talk about it in this video. Okay, now another thing I wanted to mention is that if you want more information on Saturn return, for example, your placements, where your Saturn is located and what you would be experiencing during your return, you can check out my article on my website, because yeah, I started writing articles and it's very exciting. That definitely keeps my Gemini Mercury going. Okay, so Saturn return. At first I would like to mention my experience with it, and then I'm going to tell you guys what I know, what people I know have been dealing with, and so on. So my Saturn is in Capricorn. It's very strong in my chart. I've been feeling its influence forever. As long as I've known myself, Saturn and Pluto are very, very strong in my chart. And as soon as Saturn went into Capricorn, I started feeling the influence. Things just started changing. As soon as it went into Capricorn, everything became much more difficult. Okay, as of right now, as I'm filming this video, it's in the exact conjunction with my natal Saturn, so the influence is the strongest right now. Now, I actually found a website that gives you a Saturn return calculator, which is really interesting. That's how you can see when the strongest influence of your Saturn return is going to be. I'm gonna leave the link down in the description box, guys, so you can check it out and put your own information and see when to expect that strongest influence. So I'm 29 years old, I'm turning 30 in May, and I cannot wait for it to be over. But I do believe that to every Saturn return there are pros and there are cons. I'm going to talk about cons first, or maybe those are pros. You know what I mean? It depends how you look at it. The very first time when Saturn joined Capricorn, I disconnected from a couple friends in my life, and even though it was a little depressing back then, but I took it as destiny, I took it as a sign, I took it as something that's supposed to happen for me to move on, for me to move forward. And it's okay. It's okay if Saturn disconnects you, detaches you from certain groups that you belong to or used to belong to. Romantic partners, friends, co-workers, jobs, it's okay. Saturn is doing that for your own good, for better future for yourself. So as long as you understand that, all of these losses, all of these changes regarding your relationships aren't going to be as tough on you. Now, picture a bubble. Picture being in a bubble and it's like somehow being squeezed from all these different angles. It's very pressuring, let's just put it that way. This is how I've been feeling since my Saturn return started. So, financially, my personal relationships, I believe that I'm at a very good point in my love life right now, with my friendships that I currently have in my life. I'm at a very good point in life. However, it will affect your personal relationships, it will affect your professional relationships, it will affect your friendships, it will affect everything in your life, no matter which house Saturn return is in. So just keep that in mind. My Saturn return is happening in the 11th house, and this is about social groups. So I feel like my chart is kind of contradictory. Sometimes I do act like I don't care about whatever anybody thinks about me. I'm pretty careless, I'm pretty independent, but at the same time, sometimes I do tend to care too much what other people think, and I almost let them control me in a way, or take advantage of me in a way. So for me, the biggest lesson for my Saturn return is to, yes, become an adult, become a real adult, because I thought that I became an adult when I moved across the world at 21 without family, just by myself. I don't think I would be able to do it now, but I did it then. You know, I was really confident and brave, and felt like I was pretty independent. However, as of right now, first of all, you need to learn how to become an adult. You need to learn how to become independent. If you've been depending on somebody financially, for example, or for some kind of comfort, Saturn return can detach you from it. So you learn yourself how to make that money, or you learn yourself how to keep yourself content without having to have somebody by your side, right? And the main thing for me during this Saturn return is to learn how to not care what others think. And this is why I made that abrupt decision to just transition to astrology. Well, I'm talking about my job now. But you know, and if I need to get a part-time job to keep my astrology business going, I will. You know, because this is my passion, this is exactly my destiny, this is what I need to do, this is what I love to do, and this is what I will be doing no matter what. And this is the best thing ever, when even though Saturn is restricting you from doing something else in life, it's like you're working on all these projects, you know, you are going to work every day and you're still not happy. You know, you would rather do something more creative, or you would rather go to school for something else, or you would rather start your own business. Instead of, for example, working in sales for a company, you want to make your own sales, you know, for example. Saturn will put you on the right track, but it might disconnect you from the job that you currently have. You know, it might create some kind of uncomfortable situation at your job, so you leave, between you and authorities, for example. And it will put you on the path that is perfect for you, that is perfect for your goals, and it's something that is going to make you content by the end of the transit. And I'm not saying that I'm done with my Saturn return. You know, I'm probably going to be experiencing it much longer than I think. However, when it's pressuring me from all these different angles, when I feel so pressured from every single angle in my life, I start realizing that, okay, that means that something needs to change. That means that instead of doing this, I should be doing this. I'm putting a lot of work in what I do, and maybe you don't see it that way, right? Because you see what I put out on YouTube, but there is a lot of work that goes into it. There is a lot of work on yourself, on your self-esteem, to be able to do what I'm doing. And for me, it's such an exciting time, but at the same time, it's very difficult. Because first of all, I'm getting out of my comfort zone. And this is like the worst thing, you know, especially for Taurus suns. It's the worst thing in the world to get out of your comfort zone, you know, to be able to adjust to a change. And even though I do have a pretty mutable energy in my chart, I still, you know, I'm still resistant sometimes. I'm still resistant to change. I'm still resistant to all these new beginnings. And for me, the main thing in this transit is to become 100% independent, know what I want, set my goals, and to stop caring what others think of me, to get out of my comfort zone, basically. Yes, my social circles, my, you know, social groups can change, right, throughout this period, but it's okay. This is something that I need. This is something that's going to make me happy, something that's going to bring me what I want. Saturn return can bring so many unhealthy situations in your life where you just have no choice but to learn how to overcome them. So for example, my friend got divorced during Saturn return. I want to say that my mom also, when she had her Saturn return, things between her and my dad started going downhill, so they divorced shortly after. My partner's mom was experiencing Saturn return. She had to move countries and learn how to be happy without money, change her values, because she became an immigrant, even though she was making great money where she was from, but she had to change countries and adjust to a new environment, adapt to a new environment. Saturn return teaches us to learn the right values. Okay, For me, I can consider myself a spoiled child, even though, you know, I got independent pretty quick when I moved to America, but I was so spoiled by my parents that I could always rely on them, no matter what, whether it's financial, whether it's, you know, advice or anything really. I could always rely on them. And even though my parents are divorced, but they're both very supportive of me. And this Saturn return is definitely showing me that I cannot rely on anybody but myself. And that, yeah, it's funny, right? A 30-year-old talking like that, but, you know, everybody grows up at different times in their life. We reach adulthood sooner or later, but for everyone it's different. You know, a lot of people could become an adult at 18, taking care of younger siblings, or, you know, having to work 3 jobs. Others, yeah, they reach that point by their 30s. And if your life has been really tough prior to Saturn return will reward you. Either way will reward you. But if you have been slacking on something specific in your life, for example, it's health, your diet, Saturn will bring up a health concern. You know, if you've been slacking in your relationships, if you've been like a player or a cheater, you know, Saturn is going to bring you somebody that is going to play you and will cheat on you. For example, if you are in a very unhappy marriage, Saturn will divorce you. Okay, so anything that's done during this period is for your own good, it's for your future, it's for you to feel content later on, and there are always rewards there. And Saturn is a teacher, not only a teacher. When we talk about Jupiter and Saturn, when we're comparing the two, Jupiter is a lawyer, but Saturn is a judge. So whatever you've done for your 29.5 years or 59.5 years, right? Because we experience, for the majority of time, 2 Saturn returns in our life. He's going to judge every single thing you've done and then make you redo it, make you reevaluate everything, make you better. I got in a car accident recently, even though I'm fine, but you know, it still wasn't a pleasant experience. It's something that I've never had to deal with before, and here I am. I feel like it's helping me, it's making me stronger. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? But it does it in such a way, like I'm overwhelmed. It's like in every area of my life there is something happening and I have to fix it all. And I know I cannot go back to how I used to live, like call my parents and be like, hey, you know, this and this is happening, so what do I do? You know, no, I have to figure it out on my own. I have to be an adult, I have to be my own boss, I have to be, you know, I have to do everything for myself. Now Saturn return dragging me out of all the jobs that I used to have, letting me do what I'd love to do. And of course I know that it's going to take time to build everything up, and I'm in no rush. I'm so happy with what I'm doing, but I see why. I see why it makes sense. I see why it didn't work out for me to be an interpreter. I see why it didn't work out at my previous jobs where I had to leave. I understand why now. You know, being an immigrant is never easy. It's never easy, and I'm sure that a lot of you know what it's like. So you learn how to appreciate different values. You learn how to adapt, and I feel like when you're put through many different challenges, whether you're an immigrant or not, you awaken and you start appreciating life more. Okay, I think it's like the conversation is going way too deep here, but I just wanted to talk to you guys about Saturn return, and that it's okay. It's okay that you're experiencing all these difficulties now. Just handle it a little bit longer, just a little bit longer. And trust me, it will reward you, because it's already been rewarding me. Maybe because it's been tough for me prior to Saturn return, I don't know, but it's still in the exact conjunction, and I know I will have to experience way more difficulties, way more challenges, but I'm ready to face them. I recently did a chart for my client, and he's going through his second Saturn return right now, and he gave me really good advice that I would like to share with you guys so you can use it during your Saturn return. So firstly, things that you are not allowed, that you cannot say during your Saturn return. I'm doing the best I can. You know, this is almost like victimizing yourself, that you're doing the best I can. You can. What you should be saying is, I'm only one person, so I will have to limit my work so I don't burn out. This is good for me. Okay, this is a good plan. Now, another thing that you shouldn't be saying during Saturn return, I don't know if I like this new thing. You know, you start doubting yourself, like, Am I sure I'm on the right path? Is this really the right thing to do? Instead, say, I'm transitioning into a new routine which is uncomfortable, but once I get it down, I will feel relaxed about it. Keep calming yourself down, keep believing in yourself, and things are going to work out. Now again, just a reminder, I do have discounts for sole purpose readings. I do have a blog with each Saturn return placement in your chart if you want to check that out. And I'm also going to leave Saturn return calculator in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching this ridiculous video of me constantly jumping from one thought to another. This is Gemini Mercury, can't help it, okay? But I'm happy to be experiencing this Saturn return with all the challenges that it has to offer. I'm happy that I'm finally evolving. I'm very much set on what I want. I know what I want, and without Saturn's help, most likely I wouldn't be able to know, okay? It definitely helped me make my choice and work towards my goals. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.